Okay, all right. Well, let's start. We're going to start off. We'll start right here with Dave Grebner, and we'll work our way down, and then we'll come over to the side. So, Dave, if you'd like to come up.
Okay, well, my T-shirt has an image of the Stonehenge, and the words below it are, "Give me that old-time religion." And I got this when I was on a trip to England in 2003. And I bought it at the Stonehenge gift shop, and it reflects my view of earth-centered spirituality. I feel closer to the the uh, uh, the source of all when I'm in nature and in the UU Church. So, yeah, thank you.
I'm Steve Fairbanks. I'm a Beatle fan, obviously. One of the things that I liked about the Beatles was early on in their career, they were huge in Europe, huge in Britain. They came here in 1964, February 9th, to be on a big Ed Sullivan show. And from there, they were going to tour all over the United States. Well, when they were going to go to some of the sites in the southern states, they discovered that there was segregated seating at the venues they were going to play. And they said,
we won't play at those places if they're going to separate the people. John, Paul, and Ringo will not, George, we are not going to play at these places if you keep them separated. And they relented and let people sit together. The whites, the brown, the black kids that were fans. And they set that trend off that has followed through for decades and decades. So outside of the music and that's one of the things I admired and has made me a fan forever. So, and in the end, the love you take is equal to the love you make.
My name is Lydia Wilson, and whenever I was 17 years old, I found a band called Law Dispute that really means a lot to me still to this day, 9 years later. I grew up very isolated, and I had all these big feelings that I didn't really have anyone to share with. And I wondered regularly, constantly, if maybe I was broken, maybe I wasn't born right. But whenever I found this band, I realized that there were people in this world who shared a similar depth of feeling to me, that their sorrow, their grief, their love, their joy, all of it was it was a human feeling that I was experiencing. And I would go so far to say that this band saved my life, and I really appreciate them for that. Yeah, that's why I like this shirt.
Hello, everyone. My name is Naomi Shepherd. My shirt today says "Adopt Special Needs Pets." It was part of a Instagram fundraising campaign that I bought this for a little kitty that I follow that's disabled and paralyzed. And I've owned multiple special needs pets over my life, three-legged dog. Most recently, my kitty that just passed away a couple weeks ago was missing his tail, had a lot of nerve damage and continence issues. So I just wanted to show how worthy creatures that might be a little more difficult to take care of are worth taking care of and have a lot of love to give. So yeah, that's my shirt.
Hello, I'm Stephen Shepard. I'm wearing my Socialist Rifle Association shirt today. It says, "We keep us safe." I'm not what's often referred to as a gun nut, and I am for gun control legislation. But while gun laws are what they are, I feel it's important that those who want to can avail themselves of those laws, and often gun spaces are extremely unfriendly to a lot of people. So the Socialist Rifle Association is a mutual aid organization that helps people learn how to safely use guns in a very welcoming environment for everybody. And mutual aid is a bigger part of it. And that's what I'm passionate about, because we, I think, in smaller communities can do more for each other than relying on the state. Thanks.
The shirt shows a big E. This shirt came from Europe at a big peace conference that my mom went to probably 50 years, 60 years ago. And it was an anti-nuclear weapons. It was a peace conference trying to get rid of, make the world a safer place. Oh, yeah. And I looked up, so I thought I'd look up a couple things, if I can get this open, on where we stand with nuclear weapons right now in our small, beautiful blue world. Well, nuclear weapons, they are the most dangerous weapons on Earth, and one weapon can destroy a whole city and kill millions of people. I mean, it's senseless. And it also, not only does it kill people, but it jeopardizes the natural environment and lives of future generations. And there's still over 12,000 nuclear weapons on our little planet right now. And they are actually expected to grow over the coming decade. And they are much more deadly than the Hiroshima and Nagasaki weapons that we dropped on Japan. Well, disarmament is the best protection against such dangers. But obviously, 50, 60 years ago, there were people in the peace movement trying to get rid of these weapons. And we still got 12,000 more today. So, but something positive, a few years ago in 2024, the United Nations, the countries of the world came together and passed a treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons. And the treaty was born out of the deep concern of the world's governments at the growing threat that nuclear weapons pose to human survival, the environment, socio-economic development, the global economy, food security, and the health and welfare of current and future generations. And obviously, getting rid of these weapons supports many of the UU goals. Right now, I looked up, the U.S. is currently looking to spend billions and billions of dollars to enhance new nuclear weapons, to build planes that will drop nuclear weapons, nuclear submarines. And it's ironic, there's 9 countries on our planet that have nuclear weapons. Russia, us, China, France, United Kingdom, Pakistan, India, Israel, North Korea. And guess what countries didn't sign the treaty? Didn't sign the treaty on the prohibition of nuclear weapons. Which countries didn't sign that? Those 9 countries. So, thank you for your time.
looks different from here. My T-shirt says basically good. And it, in a Buddhist context, especially the Shambhala tradition, basically good refers to the inherent, unchangeable, and unconditional nature of all beings as possessing basic goodness. This inherent goodness is described as innate wisdom, compassion, and courage. It is our fundamental nature, like a clear sky that can be temporarily obscured by clouds, but remains pure and spacious at its core.
My name is Edward Flint. My t-shirt says, humankind be both. This is aspirational. So when I was growing up, part of teaching was involved shame and humiliation. And as a teacher, I tried to avoid imposing that or putting that on my students. So I try to remember this t-shirt when I'm teaching.
Hi there, I'm BJ Lindsay, and my t-shirt is purple, and it bears the images of 17 different members of the Muppet world, 17 different characters, in the form of a periodic table, the periodic table of Muppets. To be fair, it does not include Sesame Street Muppets, which is a little bit of a shame because I grew up with Muppets. I was born just a couple years before Sesame Street started. But I got this t-shirt from my older son, Ross, last December for Christmas after I took him to the Jim Henson exhibition at the Riverfront Museum. So this shirt celebrates memories made with a special loved one, but it's so much more. It celebrates creativity and how one person can have a lasting positive impact on the world, just in case you think there's no way you can make a difference. It celebrates diversity. No two Muppets look quite alike. The Muppet world welcomes everyone, no matter what kind of creature or being they are, all ages. Statler and Waldorf, the two guys that complain in the balcony on the Muppet Show. It welcomes everyone, no matter what language they might speak. You have the Swedish chef. You have Beaker, who talks like, meh, 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 meh. Who knows what he's really saying, but the Muppets do. They listen to Beaker. And then there's Animal, who has a language that's different than anything else I've ever heard. So it embraces diversity. The Muppet world, even the so-called monsters, are not really that bad, and the other Muppets still want to be with them. Muppets celebrate. This shirt celebrates the convergence and value of art and science and how they can be used together to benefit the world. It celebrates how art can be used to support the LGBTQIA plus community. There's all colors of the rainbow on here. It celebrates how the human experience is intimately entwined with the animal experience. There are Muppets who are animals, Muppets who are humans, and Muppets like Animal, whose name is Animal, but he seems kind of human, so who knows? And finally, this shirt and Muppets celebrate the value of fun and joy. Unless you think this is too serious of a time to embrace joy in your life, the poet Toy Derricott noted that joy is an act of resistance. So I'm going to celebrate Muppets and resist by embracing joy. Thank you.
Hi there. My name is Elle Burns, and the shirt I'm wearing says humanity on it. And I've noticed that humans can be graciously good and also terrifyingly terrible, sometimes at the same time. Um, and I'm wearing this shirt that says humanity because it reminds me of a word that I made up, copotentia. Co meaning jointly, and potentia meaning strength or power. And this word means something to me because it means that we are stronger together. All right, that's it. Bye.
My shirt is ACLU. It stands for American Civil Liberties Union. And I've found that the goals of the ACLU are similar to our principles, and align with our UU values. Quickly, the 7 principles, which are grounded in love, that each and every person is important. All people should be treated fairly and kindly. We should accept one another and keep on learning together. Each person must be free to search for what is true and right in their lives. All persons should have a vote about the things that concern them. And we believe in working for a peaceful, fair, and free world, and caring for our planet Earth, the home we share with living things. Well, the ACLU strives, defending constitutional rights, our U.S. Constitution, fighting discrimination, protecting our liberties like freedom of speech, freedom to gather and share our voices, and freedom to write and distribute facts and our opinions, promoting equality of rights and opportunities for everyone, especially those seeking fairness and justice in our society. Due process, which there's that we have treatment. Let's see, I got this mixed up here. Treatment within our legal system is fair, and challenging government overreach, which means actions that infringe upon our freedoms, and working in the courts on laws that promote our freedoms and through community engagement. ACLU is nonpartisan and nonprofit, and basically to promote fairness. Thank you.
Hi, my name's Amy. It's my second time at the UU. I got Turtle Abbey, Sea Turtle Abbey, and the hat to go with. Me and my partner went to Jekyll Island last year before he started his journey in school. And we've got to go to a sea turtle hospital. The island actually has sea turtles that lay eggs every year. And we're big on our love for sea turtles and the environment and is it ecology? And I think the reason this shirt just means so much to me is that I got to be a part of an experience that taught me a lot about, the effects of littering and the effects of the environment and how sea turtles, they have it rough from the beginning to getting into that water. And it also reminded me a bit of humanity itself. These people will help these sea turtles that have been hit by boats, that have had cracked shells, and they will let us see them. And there was one named Bandit. They had a broken shell, and they weren't able to be rehabilitated back into the wild, but they were adopted by a place that was able to help them. And it was just an amazing experience to see people helping creatures. Yeah.
My name is Bill Kiefner. This says Bike the Drive. This is really kind of personal. This was back from 2003, and Bike the Drive is a bicycle ride, about a 30-mile one, on the Lakeshore Drive in Chicago, where they shut it down for a Sunday from 8 to noon. And this is about family. My brother and I did this together. He's 14 years younger than I am, so we didn't really grow up together. This is a time his wife of 25 years had died recently, and we were putting things back together. And he proposed this, and this was our chance to bond, connect, and for me to support him. It was a great ride, and I hope it helped him out. It was delightful. We did another one the following year. But this is all family, of being able to get together and do something together and connect.
My name is Jeanette Gruber. When I used to work where Lakeshore Drive is, I am an accountant, and I learned many things in a career. And nowadays, what I choose to wear is this shirt. It starts with trickle-down economics, and it ends with what the bottom line might be, a trick. They take one letter off each row, and there's more than enough to go around in our country. It's about distribution. Thank you.
My name is Mary Perello. I think it's my 4th or 5th time here. Maybe I should count the other 2 from last fall, but my shirt is from the first Unitarian Universalist church that I found in Grays Lake, Illinois, when I was really searching for somewhere else to go other than where I was going. BJ, her speech, whatever, just substitute all the places she said Muppets with the words Unitarian Universalists, because that is what this, I always call every church I go to, the service groups are about, because you are servants. You serve your communities. Your feet's on the ground. You mean what you say, and that makes the Unitarian Universalist Church a beautiful place, and it makes each and every one of you a beautiful person. Thank you.
Anyone else? I will say that BJ's shirt reminded me last night at the play of Frozen Jr., one of the moms backstage was wearing a Sesame Street shirt, and they were all, it was in the rainbow, in order of the rainbow, and it said resist. And I was like, I said, I love your shirt. So that's another important point too. A lot of the reasons why I like to wear these shirts is, especially I live across the river. It's not quite as diverse. And sometimes if I'm wearing a shirt with a rainbow, a kiddo or somebody else will be like, I really like your shirt. So I hope that helps them know that they are loved and perfect as they are.